Heidi ho there, friends and neighbors. Bobby here today. Hey folks, today I'm going to show you how to make a nail removing tool when you're doing roofing work. If you've ever done any roofing work before, after you do your tear off, you always have those pesky nails that are always sticking up about a quarter inch or so. Well, I've made a tool here to help clean up a roof in a pretty quick and efficient time period, okay? I'm going to show you the original one that I made here right quick. This was several years ago when I roofed several houses one year, and this is the one that I made. Notice that we have some notches here. We'll talk about cutting those in here in just a minute, and there is a piece of angle iron welded here on the back. This tool right here, probably used it on 7 or 8 different houses that year, quite a few. I actually made some of these tools, okay? I had a hardware store interested in actually selling them one time, but the deal kind of fell through. I called them the Roof Easy Nail Remover, and they're all painted up nice and pretty and everything. And I still have a few of them for sale. Here's one of them right here, but I do not ship them because it just costs way too much money to try to ship one of these things across the country. It just takes the value totally out of it. So today I'm going to show you guys how to make one yourself, okay? And we went down to Walmart. We purchased this little shovel here for 10 bucks, and we're going to show you how to make one out of that today, so stay tuned. Okay guys, the first thing I want to talk about is actually the teeth on this thing, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and give you a couple specs here, so write this down. From tip to tip, okay, is about 13/16 of an inch. And if you drew a straight line right across these teeth right here and measured out to the end, that's about 13/16 of an inch also, all right? So when you mark off your shovel, just go by that and your teeth will end up looking just like this here. Now what I have here, back when I was making several of them, and I actually sold a couple of them on Craigslist, I made myself a little template, all right? And that's what we're going to use today. We're not going to sit here and measure them out with a tape measure. We're going to simply put our template up here on our shovel that we purchased, okay? And then I'm going to take a pencil and we're just going to mark these off before we cut them, okay? Okay guys, as you can see, we have all of our notches marked off here with a pencil using our template. So now it's time to cut this. Okay guys, next here we're going to go ahead and take our 4-inch cutoff wheel here, and we're going to start cutting out these little notches here. So let's get this thing started. Okay guys, with all those notches cut in there, it only took a few minutes. You want to flip your shovel over, you see you got some pretty nasty burrs here and you don't want to cut your hands on it. So I've got a 36 grit roll lock here on a 90-degree die grinder. I'm just going to clean this up real quick. Okay guys, hey, look here, we got our shovel here, we got our notches cut in. You could actually probably take it out and pop some nails just like it is right there, but let me show you something, okay? If I lay this on the floor and I go up and down, that thickness of that level laying there is about 1 inch thick, okay? Bring the camera over here and look how far my hands are moving. See there? Moving back and forth about 7 inches every time you actuate this thing, okay? Well, that'll wear you out if you use it like that all day. Let me show you one of the ones that I finished here, okay? That's why I'm going to show you how important the next step is. All right, watch this. How far am I moving it now? Maybe 3 inches or so. And the reason that is because we have this piece of angle iron welded here on the back. It kind of changes the action of this thing a little bit, all right? So now we're going to show you where to place the piece of angle iron on the back of your shovel. Okay guys, here's our angle iron. I'm gonna measure it right quick. I can't remember how long I cut them. They're 5 inches long, okay? So we've got a piece of 1 inch angle iron stock right here, and we'll cut off a 5 inch piece of that here in just a second. and then we'll talk about placement. Okay guys, to get this thing in the right position here, I got the shovel up here on the bench and I'm holding it nice and flat on this edge here, okay? I'm gonna take my piece of angle iron and I'm gonna shove it underneath here, okay? And I'm gonna move it up just a little bit until I've lifted the shovel up just a little bit off of the bottom of the workbench, okay? Because this shovel is actually a different manufacturer, so it might be different on whatever type of shovel you use, but if you use this little technique, it should work fine. So right here, I can actually actuate this. I'm making it where it moves up here about an inch, okay? And I'm only having to actuate about 3 inches or so on that end. So this actually looks like a pretty good placement on this particular shovel here. So I'm gonna try to hold this up here as if I can. And I'm gonna lift this over to where I can put a mark on it. This might be the tricky part. Okay, so here we go. Flipped it upside down. And we're gonna go ahead and kind of eyeball it and square it up on here a little bit better and center it, okay? Uh-oh. Center it up on here, hold it in place, and we will take our pencil and put a couple marks on here, and then we'll go over here and break out the welder, tack this in place, and we'll be about done. Okay, with a 9-degree die grinder, we're just going to go ahead and knock a little bit of the paint off, but still leave part of our mark where we can see. We'll go ahead and do that on all 4 lines. Alright guys, we're getting close to the final stages of this thing. Come on over here. And the reason, like I said, I don't know if I explained it, I ground a little bit of the paint off just so we could be a little easier welding, and left a little bit of the mark so we could line our piece of angle iron right up on here, okay? We've got the welder hooked up, we got the ground clamp right down here, and we have our positive end here that we're going to be doing the welding with, and I'm just going to go ahead and try to put a couple tacks at it right quick. Okay guys, hey, we got a good nice little spot weld on all 4 corners. We're going to take our little 9-degree here and clean these welds up a little bit, and we're about finished. Okay guys, so there you go. We got another nail remover here, and let's take it up here and put it on the bench. I'll show you that action once again. Well, first of all, I'll show you, there's, after we welded a little piece of metal on there. Got something in the way there, okay? And if you look up here, we're actuating that about 1 inch down there. We're only moving about 3 inches or so up here. So this one here is going to work real good, when you get up there on the roof to use that. It's going to work just as good as the nice, pretty painted up one that I used to make and sell, okay? Works just about the same amount of action on it. So guys, that's how you make a nail remover. They work great. I'm gonna post a video down below. It's a video that's probably 4 or 5 years old that I made demonstrating this thing up on a roof, okay? So if you want to click the link down below and check out how these things work really good, feel free, okay? And I wish I could make them and sell them and ship them, but shipping costs is just so darn expensive. I mean, I checked here a while back to ship one of these to a guy in Idaho that wanted one. It's like 90 bucks. I mean, nobody's gonna pay 90 bucks plus the cost of the tool there to get one, okay? I've sold them here, locally on Craigslist and stuff for like 25 bucks, and I can make them for 10, sell them for 25. They don't take very long to make. But anyway, guys, you can make your own if you want to. If you're inclined to do a little bit of cutting and welding, there you go. You can make one yourself. we done that in less than 30 minutes. You know, if we were making 20 of them, we'd have like an assembly line going and we'd knock them out even quicker. But from that point there, you know, you can take it and sand it if you want to, put you a nice little coat of paint on it like we did when we were making some a few years ago. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this little video and you found it helpful. And definitely check out the link to the video we're going to put below of a video from 4 or 5 years ago where we show how to operate this thing. Have a great day. And don't forget, we are on Patreon if you want to support us. And we're on Facebook as well and Twitter. And all those links will be down below. Have a great day.